This happened many years ago. I've never liked camping. My dad, a wilderness-loving type, dragged me out every summer. By sophomore year, I convinced him to let me bring a friend. So, I brought Charles from school. Unfortunately, the trip didn't go as planned. We ended up at this crappy, overdeveloped campsite. I'm talking indoor bathrooms, paved walkways, and even a playground. Right next to the campsite was a mini amusement park. An actual amusement park with carnival games, a Ferris wheel, and roller coasters. Everyone was pissed. Charles kept making jokes about my family, as if we didn't know what real camping was. Charles and I were sharing a tent. Charles had brought a little metal pipe and some weed. We snuck into the woods and smoked. We both agreed that we had way too much energy to sleep. Charles suggested we go explore the amusement park. The thought of climbing a roller coaster was exhilarating. We made our move well after midnight. We grabbed our flashlights and headed to the fence. Just a little boost from Charles, and we were in. We progressed through the park slowly, ducking behind buildings and keeping an eye on the patrol. We finally made it to the base of the roller coaster. The metal rungs clanged softly under our feet as we climbed. There were no railings for part of the stretch, which was terrifying. We finally reached the top, and the view was unreal. We took a single photo up there. We were maybe 5 minutes from the spot we'd hop the fence when we had to stop. One of the guards was making a round. That's when I noticed something move in the dark. About 30 feet away, just barely visible in the darkness between two buildings, was another person. They were crouching down just like us. I was fairly confident they were looking directly at us. They darted across a patch of open ground and right through the little spill of light from a street lamp. For a split second, I saw him clearly. It was a man. He was wearing tattered clothing and had this really awkward stripe like he was injured or disfigured. But none of that was as unsettling as the dark liquid smeared across his face. It looked like blood. Charles saw it too, and we exchanged a really terrified look. We made it back to the fence, scaled it, and dropped down on the other side. This time, we didn't laugh about it. The next morning started off normally. Around 10 a.m., one of the camp staffers gave us an announcement. A man had been stabbed and killed the night before at a lake about 4 miles away. The guy who did it was still on the loose. They described him as a disheveled white male in his late 30s, shirtless, possibly bleeding or with blood on his clothes. They instructed us to pack our things and leave for our own safety. Charles and I instantly connected the dots. It must have been that guy we had seen the night before. We kept our mouths shut. I still kick myself for not speaking up. My statement could have led to the capture of a dangerous person. I still think it's crazy that my friend and I were mere feet away from a murderer on the run. This happened back in October of 2016, right when that weird clown hysteria was all over the news. I was 16, a junior in high school. I had my headphones in and was reviewing chem flashcards. We arrived at 96th, and I jumped out of my seat. As soon as the doors slid open, I realized something was obstructing my path. It was a clown. He was wearing the full getup. He didn't say anything. He just stood there, preventing me from getting off. I sprinted past him. He lurched forward to tackle me. I dodged him and continued running. I shot a glance behind me and saw him pursuing me. I was much more focused on what was now in his hand. It was what looked like a kitchen knife. I ran up the stairs and out of the station and immediately reported the situation to the police. I was 2 years out of undergrad, jumping around from odd job to odd job. I stumbled upon a private lifeguarding job at a hotel. The hours were backward, 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. They explicitly requested an individual who didn't speak Spanish. I am literally half Mexican, but I decided to pretend not to know Spanish. I was told they wanted someone who didn't speak Spanish because it would prevent rowdy outsiders from trying to harass me. My responsibilities: lifeguard, collect money from non-guests, and call Jefe if there was any problem. If anyone showed me a blue wristband, I was to let them into what he called the pool house. My mind started smothering all the noise until there was a single thought: money laundering. I saved Jefe's son from drowning. After everyone toasted me, one of the men made a toast in Spanish. He was basically toasting all the money they were making and all the, quote, lives they were destroying. The next day, my mom called me while I was at the pool. My mom only ever spoke Spanish, so naturally I had to talk to her in Spanish. After hanging up, Esteban was standing directly in my path, staring at me. He asked how long I knew Spanish. I played dumb, but I knew he saw right through me. My heart started racing. He just said, "Okay." A few minutes before my shift ended, he came up to me and told me to arrive an hour early the following day, as he'd have a new opportunity to offer me. Then he tipped me a couple hundred. When I left the hotel that day, I never returned. I still think I was really close to losing my life that day.